Hello world of YouTube, I'm back tonight. I want to do a video of bands that had and still have egos. Now everybody knows when a band gets so high and top of their prime and game that it all ends up in a sour mix and down in the sewer. And I got a list here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bands off the top of my head that influenced me through a child so much that these 12 bands, when I heard they broke up, when I heard that like Dimebag got shot and so forth, bands wanting to kill each other, literally calling out right on a live interview for like VH1 Behind the Music, or the videos that they came out with back in the 80s. And I mean, these bands, I'm gonna put them all on the top of the list. There's probably more, but I want to go over these ones. It would probably take 10 years to do as many as I know, but these are the bands that influenced me as a kid and why I want to get on them and harp on them to the surviving members, to get them back into a studio, which a couple of bands already done, but and get them and get the ones that have been away, from the 70s and therefore back into the studios and make one more studio album. I want to throw them under the bus. I want them to do this. I want to start with the still have part. Bands that still have an ego towards each other. Start off with Pink Floyd. Now, if there's any band in the world that want to relax to, take some time off from banging and smashing my head into a wall due to the graphic violence of music I listen to, Pink Floyd would be the ultimate relaxing band. But you got Roger Waters, David Gilmour, two that peaked at their prime and they just won't get back in the studio. And whoopee, they did a concert for their out in London, England and all that. If they don't come to the States, throwing you under the bus, get off each other's hind asses, get in the studio, make one more album, maybe do a tour if you can. I want something new, I want something fresh, man. Come on, you got to get rid of these egos. You got to get rid of them. I think this to me personally, I think they have egos. It's so they get so big that they don't even want to look at each other anymore. They don't care. I did this song, you did that song. It just gets so ridiculous. Just like John Lennon and Paul McCartney. That was another band I forgot to write up on, but them two, egos, flared, breakup, boom, gone, see you later. And it sucks, because now, after many, many years, you think you would have seen something from them, but there you go, John Lennon gets shot. And you'll never see another Beatles album. And then George Harrison dies of cancer or whatnot, and the only two surviving members, they can't go on without him. I'm sure they wouldn't in their respect, but some bands do. Next band is the mighty Led Zeppelin. Now, I've always said to myself, and and beyond a reasonable doubt, that Robert Plant has the biggest ego on the planet. I liked his Honey Dippers album back in 1983. The classy sway, smooth, just like Pink Floyd. If I want to relax, there's the album. But for them to not tour, for them to not come out with any new material, because they should. You want to know why my theory is? is they still have all surviving members in my eyes. Whether or not John Bonham is dead, there's no other drummer in the world that could fulfill him better than his son. And I've heard the stories, I'm sure everybody's heard the stories. Robert Plant, Jimmy Page. Don't let no other drummer play some of their songs because of the simple fact they were John Bonham's best. But in my eyes, I think in dignity, in respect and honor, I think Jason Bonham should get to play any song he wants, and they should go do a new album. Aerosmith's doing it. Van Halen did it. Them are the two bands that got their egos out of their ass and set aside flares and, rumors and stupid shit. Why can't Led Zeppelin? Why can't Pink Floyd? It's just disgusting, and it leads to death sometimes. Once again, the mighty Pantera. There was an ego there that shouldn't have never been done, said, or even dealt with. But what can you do? I mean, I'm a true die-hard fan to music too. Life is music to me. Rather, besides my kids, the next best thing is music. And these bands influenced me so much, it's just sucks to see that they ain't doing nothing. But then again, you can't see Pantera no more, and that's bad. They were icons, legends before their time. The next band I want to go over, Journey. Now, everybody, I don't know, you can call me what you will if you think I'm a pansy or whatnot listening to this kind of music. I love Journey. Another band that soothes your heart, eases the soul, and brings back memories of times of goodness. And for the keyboardist there, I forget his name, but he's one of the founding members, and Neil Schon, I don't even know how to pronounce the dipstick's name, Neil. There's two men right there with the biggest egos out their head. To me, of course, Journey wouldn't be Journey without Steve. And it's only proved and known due to the fact that look at the first 3 albums, was it? 3 albums before Steve Perry stepped in, all instrumental. And in my eyes, there's only a few instrumental songs here and there that ever made it to the top. And maybe one album I can say, one album that was great, that was instrumental, was Joe Satriani, Surfing with the Alien. Other than that, any other instrumental, what time is it? Where is that album? I can't find it in my collection because I would have had it. But yeah, them, they got this. I remember the interview with Steve. Hey, he got sick, he had to get his throat surgically fixed or whatnot, and he said, just do what you do, but please, don't go on without him, pretty much. And what do? They go hire this other guy. And it sticks in my mind to hear what that guy said, the new singer for Journey, that, you don't like the tone, you don't like this, you don't like that, but he does it anyways. What the fuck is that, man? Either you do or you don't. You either like it, love it, or get out. That's it, in my book. I don't care what you don't like. Music is passion. Music comes from the soul, the insides of your brain, and opens up doors that, to me, soothes or makes you rowdy or makes you whatever the case is in the music. Music to me, man, is just life. You gotta have it in your life. And if it wasn't for music for me today, like these bands, I'd be dead. And the next band I like to go over, the Police. You got Sting and Stuart Copeland, the drummer. I forget the guitarist's name, but he ain't the one with the feud. Stephen Copeland and Sting. Now here's two guys. Stephen Copeland, he's a damn good drummer. You know, he's up with there with the best top 10 in my eyes. And for Sting, I think it's safe to say the Sting's the one with the biggest ego and just likes it his way in terms. And you know, them two been feuding for years if you watch their interviews. And they just got so big. Like any other band, they get so big they don't know what to do themselves. Then it's my music, my material, my this, my that. I wrote that song, I played that riff. You know, it goes on, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, bands like Aerosmith, you know, Steven Tyler said it, how can you tear up the Toxic Twins? You can't, you shouldn't. And they've gone on from getting back together in 1985, Done with Mirrors. You know, the smash hit with their Walk This Way and bringing back an old memory song and just bringing forth the music that they love to do, perform, soul, rhythm, blues, whatever they throw in it, rock, metal, stiffness, hardness, it doesn't matter. They got back together and they do it. And the last still have band with an ego, the Styx. And I just recently read an article with Dennis, the keyboardist, vocalist, that Tommy Shaw is the one with the problems. Tommy Shaw, I don't know, he could be saying that out of content too, or whatever Tommy Shaw's problem is, but there's a band that got 3 platinum albums in a row. The first band to get 3 platinum albums in a row. And after that, as you can see, egos flared. And where are they now? They tour, but not with Dennis. And he wants to tour. He wants to get back in the band. He says he loves the music. In the theory of Mr. Tommy Shaw wanting their music to go more hard rock way, and because the band Styx, is the mythical river in hell, and he wants the more, renegade song sound. And I don't know how true it is, but Dennis there, the keyboardist, said he is the one that suggests that they make that a rock and roll song, and suggests that it go forth as, a heavy song, so rock and roll. And so what if they made a few love ballads, Lady and Babe, and what band don't have it? You're gonna bust a rag on Ozzy's balls? You're gonna bust on Pantera's balls for doing Cemetery Gates? I don't think so. You do need a tendency to slow down once in a while with music, in my eyes. It's when your neck gets sore, like when you got the old interview with Cliff Burton talking to his father, and when I watched that video, he said, my neck is sore, he's over there holding his neck, and his father's over there, well, what the hell are you doing headbanging all night, But you need something other than unordinary in the end, everybody needs it. Slow down a little. It ain't gonna kill you, it ain't gonna make you a little sissy. Screw you if you think you're a sissy because you listen to Styx or Journey. And still have bands. My last one is Skid Row. Here's a band that they only made 3 studio albums? Yeah, 3. Then they had the B-side. But they're huge. They landmark their music, and now they're gone. They got the other singer there, another numbnuts that I think. I listened to the new material of Skid Row, and you know what? If the singer's dead and gone, then move on. But if you got the old singers just hanging around because something happened, or they got sick in surgery like Journey and Skid Row, you don't replace the singer. You get on with your problems. You get on with your lives. And all I can say is Aerosmith, baby. They did it. Why can't you? And all these bands that I've said I want to see, in my eyes, I want to see a new studio album with the original members. And like I said, Led Zeppelin should step up and let Jason Bonham take his father's role in one of the best drummers of all time, and let him play the forgiven songs to be played because he earns it, and I think he deserves it. Guy's been playing drums since he was 3 years old. What's up with that there, Mr. Robert Plant? You know what? I got one thing to say about Led Zeppelin before I move on to the next segment, and that is, you just made a new studio album last year, Mr. Plant. I don't hear it on the radios no more, and I don't even hear it on the news, and it wasn't even heavy. One song I heard, and I don't know what the rest is, but hearing that one song, I think you should put back Led Zeppelin. Moving on, that two bands that had egos, and that would be Tony Iommi, Black Sabbath. I don't want to bust this man's balls too much because he is the founder, creator of heavy metal. Anybody disagrees, go suck a fart out of my ass. He, though, and the other bandmates didn't want to, but I think he's the one to push forth on letting Ozzy go because of his very out of control drinking problems. You know, all this craziness. And I got one thing to say about that. Jim Morrison screwed up a lot of shows. Came in drunk, smashed, hammered, popped all the pills down the row on the street, did every book name of drug in the book. And did you see that band throw him out? No. They dealt with it. They got through it. It took a little police work to get Jim Morrison to snap out of it, but he did it. And they came out with one of the most best rock albums in my eyes of all time, and that was L.A. Woman. And I think Tony Iommi went a little too far of throwing Ozzy out and getting the band members to turn on him too, but they didn't want to, of course. But it was just, you know, and Ozzy said it in an interview of his that was Tony Iommi's band, still his band, and you can tell it was his band through the 80s. After Dio left, he continued as Black Sabbath, not Black Sabbath 1, 2, 3, or Black Sabbath and Dio or Ronnie, and no, he continued, and that was his band, and he, you know, went through with it. Every singer he changed, it was still Black Sabbath. And to me, that was kind of, you know, selfish, greedy. You know, they made it so big, created something that nobody ever heard of, in my eyes, that, you know, he got a little out of control with his doings. But I want to see another studio album out of him with Ozzy too. I mean, it would have been nice to see another one with after Dehumanizer with Dio, but rest in peace. But until, you know, you never know. Ozzy can go tomorrow. You know, Ozzy was put on this world to me to sing. And, you know, when I was a kid, my father was never around as much as he should have been. Teenage years also. And we had to do a book report about things about your father, and I don't know what the hell it was. It all had to do with my father, though, and I had to write something, an essay about my father and me. You know what I did? I did an essay about my father, Ozzy, and me. And my teacher came out with, "You can't use him as your father." He's like, "What are you, fucking nuts?" And he said it too. "What are you, fucking nuts? He ain't your biological father." I said, you know what? Ozzy's been around for a long time. And every time I need someone to look up to make me feel good, to, you know, everything right here in my report says I buy an album. Comes out every year, I buy an album. And to me, that's my father, because he's always there when I need him. And that's all I need is an Ozzy song to make me feel better, like back in the day. Not like these morons that killed themselves, you know, with an Ozzy song and he had to go to court and all that bullshit. Not me, pal. still here to this day, and I'll still be kicking with Ozzy until he dies. I want to try and make his funeral too, but like I say, you know, Tony and that Ego Boy, it blew up, but now, hey, let's make a studio album, and the past has already been gone, and bygones have been bygones, but I know that I think I heard it was in the making of a studio album, so hopefully we get that wish come true. The next band that had Ego's Van Halen, like I said. Now there's a band where Mr. Eddie Van Halen is and will always be another one like Tony. You know, that was his band. He made it, him and his brother. Van Halen Brothers. And, right, another band that swept the world and made it all happen. And where'd the Eagles lead to? Well, they left to Sammy Hagar, but to me, when Diamond Dave left, I can tell you right now, man, that man fell down. He fell down hard. He came out with some good albums. Skyscraper, you know, Crazy from the Heat, and Eat 'em and Smile, and Sensible Shoes. But after that, I think Dave went kind of downhill. And look at him now, he's kind of fruity if you ask me. I mean, he's still got the knowledge and talent that he had when he first opened up that first tour with Van Halen, but I think he lost it in ways due to the fact of, right, going to become a EMT. Ew, Dave, what are you? Geez. Who the hell gonna go from a multi-platinum, huge selling, even by himself multi-platinum, and go to be EMT? The man lost his mind not being in Van Halen, I think. And now that they're back together, and I hope Eddie's alright with his surgery in the stomach, I guess that's what happened. Everybody all talking about they started their feud again, but it wasn't that. But hey, another band that had an ego. And now look at them. Slayer went on without Dave Lombardi. And of course, Slayer even said it themselves. They weren't the same. They tried doing things and other things, and it didn't work out. And you know, there was another band, top of their game. Huge albums, man. Love Slayer. And I mean, to see them break up and lose one of the best drummers of my eyes. You know what? To me, I'm gonna put it on the line. I'm gonna say Dave Lombardo. I hope I'm saying his name right. Lombardo. I'll put him in the top 5 drummers list. A man can play some insane drums, fast. And that's what I'm putting him as, you know. And I'm glad they're back together. And of course, when they got back together, look at that. They got their first #1 hit. Into the Eyes of the Insane. Eyes of the Insane. Yeah, man. It's friggin' great to see them get back and do that. You know, they don't care. But hey, you gotta put credit where credit's due. Next band, Motley Crue. Kicking out Vince Neil. To me, there's another band swore through the high hills, out the mountains into the clouds, man. And there they went and kicked Vince Neil. Vince Neil said in an interview when he got doing the Dr. Feelgood album, that was the first album that he really contributed in and put his 100% into, which I don't know how that is, because to me every other album was 100% kick ass. But he claims he got into it and they kicked him out. Egos fled. You know, and they went on there was Motley Crue, moving on with another singer. I mean, I think, yeah, Vince, he did good with that one album, you know, with the song You're Invited But Your Friend Can't Come. But Crue ain't the same without Crue, and they finally got their heads out of their ass and, you know, got it together. Aerosmith, I ain't gonna say nothing about them. I already put them in there. But out of all these bands, and the last but not least, I mean, this is the scariest one to me, and it shows that not only could egos just break up a band and flare with rumors of each other or swearing at each other, want to kill each other. I mean, this band literally had it happen. And I think all these bands that don't want to get together, they should look at this band and say, hey, in the honor of Dimebag Darrell, I think they should get back and do that for because egos flare. Egos are high in these bands. And they should look into this, because there was Phil, I looked up on it all, and I remember I was in Florida wearing this shirt in 2004. Guy came up to me and saying, cool shirt, kick-ass band. He was in the meanest mosh pit of his life. And I was saying the same thing. And then he's like, well, he was asking me why they broke up. And I said, just like any other band. I said, maybe they want to go out and do different albums like Kiss or something, and make other albums. And I guess Phil did with Down, but I didn't know that interview with Phil had surfaced until I got on YouTube, after the fact of, Dimebag getting shot and, looking it up. And then I saw the video of that too. And, I was driving that day when it happened, and I stopped my truck completely for half an hour. I was crying, dead crying, man. I couldn't drive, eyes watering. I don't know, a lot of people must have been devastated that day. And I even wrote a song about it, which I'm going to bring that out soon into another lyrics video. But all these other bands, like I said, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Skid Row, Journey, Police and Styx. Regardless that John Bonham's dead, he died of natural death, of course, alcoholism. But all these other bands should put past and look at what happened to Pantera, because there was a fan right there that just went ballistic because his band, broke up. And I wouldn't go that extreme to go fucking blow someone's face off because someone said to do it. But it's devastating, and I think these bands should, in honor of that band, Pantera, put up their own tribute albums of, who knows, maybe one of the best albums they've written in whatever than all the rest. That's what I think. But other than that, egos that had and still have, and them are the bands I came up with, huge influences on my life. And like I said, if these bands can go on and do something of their own, of course, and put it together, maybe make one of the best albums they did of their lives. But I think it should be for the fans, for one, because we deserve it. They haven't had a studio album in a long time. Yeah, you get to see their tour, but you see some new stuff. Aerosmith's done it. Van Halen's done it. How about you guys? And I think you should think about Pantera, because maybe one day, just like John Lennon, he got shot by a fan. I don't know what kind of fan that is, but if I can't have him, nobody can. Just like Pantera. If I can't have Dimebag and Pantera, the guy said nobody can. Who knows what will happen to you guys next? Could be tomorrow your last day. You'll never know. But until my next video, we'll see you on the next one.